Now, Free State Cogta and Housing MEC Saki Mokoena joins us for more on this one. Thank you so much for joining us, MEC Mokoena. Appreciate it as well. Then, would you just share perhaps the kind of readiness that perhaps lies in wake for a situation like this, the awareness that you've had to go through as well within the area? I think we probably have you
Thank you
on
very
mute.
much.
Apologies.
And thanks for having me. Apologies for that. We're in a grip of a very terrible weather condition. It's extremely cold. We have already experienced a hailstorm in the areas of Fixback. There was rain overnight in Maludiapofu with a mild damage to the road, but that was cleared. According to the Weather Service, we have braced ourselves for adverse conditions around the areas that are on the Lesotho border, which will be your areas of Mohokare, Manso, Pastoto, Dihlabing, and Maludiapofu. We have prepared our teams. They are ready on standby. We are keeping a keen eye on entry, learning from the experiences of last year. In Maludiapofu, which is a very mountainous areas of Pakwa and so on, both working with the municipality and the district there, we've got mechanisms ready to clear the roads, but also to intervene in the event our people find themselves in trouble, and the same applies across all the areas of the Free State. We have already issued several alerts of our people, particularly in informal settlement, where people will be using different mechanisms to really warm themselves up. That the most important thing is to keep fire, away from the minor ones, and to make sure that there's no damage to property and life is not lost. We've got our EMS on call. We're working with various security agencies to make sure that we do everything in our power to really preserve life. In the event the weather deteriorates further than what we're seeing, we will be willing to step in, including where possible, close the roads, as long as we can save life and come back to recover the following day. Our agriculture department is on high alert, working with the farmers as well, particularly to protect the vulnerable stocks that usually perish when we face adverse conditions like this one. With the snow that we see in the areas of Lesotho, Pakwa, we know that it is coming to be difficult for our people overnight, and we hope and really pray for the best that whatever we've done to prepare does carry us through this terrible week.
Yeah. Have there been any reported cases thus far that you know of any property damage, displacement, disruptions, even to essential services due to the snow and that cold weather?
The only minor damages we refer to is in the area of Setsot, which is the areas of Fixback, and a bit of Clocoland, where there were minor damages to the roofs, particularly the leaks that were caused by quite an intense 10-minute or so hailstorm in that area. But we think that will be manageable by our people. There was also a road that had to be cleared in Maluti, which was really a minor side of the road falling into the road, but that has been cleared working together with Sandral, as well as agencies that are part of our efforts in the province. So we are doing everything. We don't want to see any damage. We also don't want to lose any single life. And we are really appealing to members of the public. Once it rains, please drive with caution. Once it is cold, please make sure that if you are using Mbaula or anything to warm yourself up, make sure that it does not burn the surroundings and the dwelling that you are living in. And if you know there are vulnerable people, please alert us. We are working with Red Cross and others to help us to intervene where the need arises.
Yeah, the realities, though, of things like whether it be climate change, extreme weather patterns, which is just like this expected snowfall. How does that go into your department's planning, particularly for situations like this, especially for the vulnerable? Are you able to plan in advance, knowing things like this are happening? And what protocols do you then put in place for emergencies such as this?
I can confirm that in the Free State, particularly in the areas that are on the front line, we have got our response teams that are ready. We have got a set of graders and TLBs that are ready to clear the road. The EMS is on high alert. The Prof Jock has said the disaster management team sits regularly to provide teams, info, updates, and as well as work with the municipalities. So with the little that we have done our best to make sure that we're ready. We need more. I'm far from being happy with the capacity that we have mastered. Remember, the Free State now is commonly in the eye of the storm on an annual basis. We need to invest more in our capacities of municipalities, fire departments, the graders, the TLBs to respond and clear the roads. How do you preserve livestock? How do you preserve life? How do you manage informal settlement, where our people will be using all manner of inventions to keep themselves warm? So the government in its entirety, the Free State government and the municipalities, we have got more to do, including on the front of teaching and raising awareness amongst our people on how we are now going to manage what seems to be a common feature on an annual basis in terms of our location at the heart of the country, then caught in between the Eastern Cape and Lesotho, quite mountainous.
Yeah.
And what is coming normally from the Western Cape means that we are on the frontier of any adverse weather that comes from those sides.
Yeah. Let's talk about communicating then with residents. One imagines that, of course, that's something that has to happen continuously. How have you been able to communicate then with residents, ensuring their safety and ensuring that they know of the available support to them as well in a time like this?
We have been using community radio stations. We have been using stations that runs throughout the province and nationally. And we're happy as well for this conversation that we have because it's a powerful medium. We have also used all the social media platforms to alert our people and raise awareness. I just stepped off the meeting with the mayors, particularly of the 7 municipalities that are said to be on the pathway of this weather, where we have requested that additional measures, communication, be sent out to our people to really be aware that the worst is coming, and we will really be available on the number that we've shared with them in case where emergencies arises. We can never do enough. But we have got to try within our means to make sure that we do what is best. So all the means of communication available have been issued in the last 3 days. We intensified today. In the morning, the weather was a bit better, but it is getting terrible now. It's getting more colder. And we suspect that it will be more worse overnight. And that's where we are worried, but we remain on 24-hour alert and only hope and pray for the best.
Well, thank you so much for the time. Saki Mokoena, the Free State's MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, as well as Human Settlements. Appreciated their safety, as well as preparedness then, of course, as the weather continues to get bitterly cold in and around that part of the country.